welcome to Sneaky Stories, home of short stories you can sneak into your day. Get ready to go on an adventure with some of the Sneaky Universe characters. Today we have a story from the Axolotl Lake series. I'm your storyteller, Pauline, and I can't wait to share today's story with you. Let the adventure begin. Remember, there aren't any pictures, so you'll need to imagine them. You can imagine the pictures any way you like.
Just some housekeeping before we get into the story today. Sneaky Stories will be taking a short break for a few weeks, but I'll be back in November with more Monica, Sophie, Rosemarine and Axolotl stories then. Now, on with the show. Just in case you missed it last week, Serena and Carlos have time travelled to the future and their home is in danger. They need to restore balance to the lake by reawakening the spirit that keeps the lake alive. I'll start with the last paragraph we heard last week. The creature's eyes opened fully now, glowing with an ancient light. Perhaps not. The magic you wield is powerful but fragile. If you wish to return, you must first restore balance to the lake. You must find what was lost and make it whole again. Serena frowned. Restore balance? What does that mean? The axolotl's voice deepened. There is still life here, hidden beneath the layers of machinery in progress. You must awaken the heart of the lake, the spirit that once kept it alive. Only then can the vortex take you back to your time. Carlos shifted nervously. And how do we find this spirit? The creature let out a soft, almost sad sigh. You must travel to the deepest part of the lake, beyond the reach of the machines. There you will find the remnants of the ancient world. But be warned, the way is dangerous, and not all that dwells in the depths will welcome you. Serena looked at Carlos. We've come this far. We can't turn back now. Carlos nodded, though his tail twitched nervously. Okay, let's find this spirit and get back home. The ancient axolotl nodded. May the currents guide you, travellers. And remember, the future is always shaped by those who seek to change it. With that, the glowing moss around the creature dimmed, and the cavern fell silent once more. Serena turned to Carlos. Let's do this. Serena and Carlos swam out of the ancient axolotl's cavern, their hearts pounding. The stillness of the water around them felt more oppressive now that they knew what lay ahead. The journey into the deepest part of the lake, where old magic still slept and danger lurked. Do you think we'll even recognize this spirit when we find it? Carlos asked, glancing nervously at the shadows below. Serena shrugged. I don't know, but if there's anything left of our lake in this future, it'll be down there. We just need to follow the magic. Carlos gulped. His fear was slowly being replaced by a quiet resolve. Lead the way. They dove deeper, leaving behind the strange futuristic structures and the eerie clear water. As they descended, the light from above grew dimmer, the water colder. The technology that had replaced the lake's natural life began to fade, and soon they found themselves swimming through a murky, forgotten world. The water is thick here, almost suffocating. Strange currents swirled around them, carrying bits of old debris, broken stones, decaying plants, and remnants of things that had been forgotten by time. This place feels wrong, Carlos murmured. Serena nodded. It's like everything that was once alive here has been buried. Suddenly, a deep rumble echoed through the water, vibrating in their bones. They froze, glancing around, but the source of the sound was nowhere in sight. We're not alone, Serena whispered. Carlos' eyes darted back and forth. What do you think it was? Before Serena could answer, a shadow moved in the distance, a massive figure slithering through the depths with a slow, deliberate motion. It was too far away to make out clearly, but its size was unmistakable. We need to keep moving, Serena said, her voice low but steady. Whatever that is, it's not here to help. They pressed on, swimming faster now, staying close to the rocky terrain. The water grew darker, almost black, and Serena's instincts told her that they were getting closer to the heart of the lake. Magic thrummed faintly in the water, a distant pulse that called to the rock in her paw. Serena, Carlos said suddenly, look. Ahead of them, the water opened into a vast chasm, a yawning abyss that seemed to stretch endlessly downward. Faint lights glowed at the edges, like stars scattered through the depths, but there was something else, a presence, ancient and powerful, lurking in the dark. "This has to be it," Serena whispered, "the heart of the lake." Carlos shivered, staring into the void. "Do we really have to go in there?" Serena's grip tightened around the magic rock. "If we don't, we'll never make it home." Taking a deep breath, she swam forward, pulling Carlos along with her. They descended into the chasm, the water growing colder and heavier with each stroke. The faint lights around them seemed to pulse in time with the magic, guiding them deeper into the abyss. Finally, after what felt like hours of swimming, they reached the bottom of the chasm. There, at the very center, was a massive stone altar, covered in ancient carvings and glowing with a soft light. Magic in the water was strongest here, vibrating through their bodies like a heartbeat. Serena approached the altar cautiously. The carvings seemed to depict scenes from the lake's past, a time when it was teeming with life before the machines and technology took over. At the center of the altar was a crystal shimmering with soft blue glow. "This has to be it," Serena said, "the heart of the lake." Carlos swam closer, his eyes wide. "It's beautiful, but how do we awaken it?" Serena glanced down at the magic rock in her paw. The old axolotl's words echoed in her mind. "You must restore balance." She held the rock over the crystal, feeling the magic hum between them. "I think we have to combine the magic from the rock from whatever's left in the lake's spirit," Serena said. "It's the only way." Carlos nodded. "Okay, let's do it." Taking a deep breath, Serena placed the magic rock on the crystal. For a moment, nothing happened. The water was still, silent, as if holding its breath. Then, with a sudden burst of light, the crystal flared to life. Magic surged through the water, rippling out in waves, filling the chasm with a blinding glow. The carvings on the altar lit up, and the ancient magic that had long been dormant began to awaken. The ground trembled beneath them, and Serena felt a deep, powerful presence stirring in the depths. The spirit of the lake had awakened. Carlos grabbed her arm. "Serena, look!" From the edges of the chasm, life began to bloom. Plants that had been dead sprang back to life. The water, once cold and heavy, grew warm and vibrant. The lake was coming back to life. But as the magic spread, the rumbling from earlier returned, louder, more insistent. The massive figure from the shadows reappeared, its glowing eyes fixed on them. It was an ancient creature, part of the lake's past, and it was not happy with the changes. "We need to get out of here," Serena shouted, grabbing Carlos as the creature advanced. They swam upwards, the magic of the lake swirling around them. But the creature was fast, faster than they could have anticipated. It lunged toward them, its jaw snapping. Just as it was about to reach them, a blinding flash of light exploded from the altar, sending a shock wave through the water. The creature was thrown back, disappearing into the depths as the magic consumed it. Serena and Carlos were lifted by the wave of magic, carried upward through the chasm, through the swirling vortex of energy. The heart of the lake had been restored, and the balance of time with it. Before they knew it, they were back in the familiar lake, the vortex closing behind them. The water was clear again, the plants swaying gently as they once had. Everything was as it should be. Carlos blinked, dazed. "Did we make it?" Serena smiled, exhausted but relieved. "Yeah, we did." They floated for a moment, letting the calmness of their lake wash over them. "We saved it," Carlos said, a hint of pride in his voice. "We actually saved the lake." Serena nodded, glancing at the magic rock in her paw, now dark and silent, and ourselves.
If you would like a free Sneaky Universe coloring and activity book, visit www.sneakyuniverse.com/Sneaky Stories Podcast. Sneaky Stories is a Sneaky Universe production. Written, hosted and edited by Pauline Malcoon. The music is by Trailer Works. If you would like more stories, visit www.sneakyuniverse.com.